I feel like this movie is going to your high school reunion. It's great to see everyone again, but they all got fat, married, and miserable. So, is it really good to see them again? Wouldn't you just prefer to remember them the way they were? Today we're talking about Dr. Sleep. Stephen King's 2019 follow-up to The Shining. This is Dr. Sleep, directed by Mike Flanagan with a budget of $45 million. This film only grossed $72.5 million worldwide. If you love Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, you probably don't need to watch Dr. Sleep. Unfortunately, not the best sequel, but we'll get into that more later. Here are our top 5 facts about Dr. Sleep. Fact number 5. The famous hexagon carpet in the original film The Shining was recreated for filming Dr. Sleep. However, the color variant wasn't perfect, so in post-production they had to go in and alter the colors just a little bit. After the filming was over, an executive from Warner Brothers requested the carpet, and it was installed in a conference room in their executive suites area and is still there to this day. Interesting fact number 4, Danny Lloyd, the original Danny from The Shining, has a small cameo in this film. He is sitting on the bleachers in the baseball scene next to the guy talking. Small, little bitty part. Interesting fact number 3, Stephen King was never satisfied with Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining, for many reasons, one of which that the movie ended different than the book. In the book, the hotel is burned down to cast out all the demons and evil spirits. When Mike Flanagan proposed the idea of filming this movie to Stephen King, he said, "We're going to give it the ending that it deserved, that you wanted in the first one." And Stephen King was excited about that. Mike Flanagan, being a huge Stephen King fan, was later quoted as saying, "I wouldn't have done the film if he wouldn't have been on board for this." Interesting fact number 2, the elevator scene with blood rushing out into the hallway is used in both films, Dr. Sleep and The Shining. However, it is shot at a different angle, and that's because the original in The Shining is shot from Danny's point of view, lower to the ground, and the shot used in Dr. Sleep is from Rose's point of view, higher up on the ground. In Dr. Sleep, in The Shining, it was practical effects. They shot that 3 times to get it right, and they spilled all that blood all over the place. They had to wait, clean everything up, then shoot it again. Shot it 3 times. When it came to redoing it in Dr. Sleep, they just used CGI as that practical effect. You could do it 1,000 times and never get it exactly right. So they used CGI to recreate. But it's also at a different level because that's Rose's POV. And interesting fact number 1 about Dr. Sleep. 3 shots from The Shining were reused in this film. The helicopter shots flying over the lake with the island in the center, and then the 2 shots of the car going up the mountain after that shot. All 3 of those shots were reused in Dr. Sleep. They were the same footage that Stanley Kubrick shot. They were degrained, they were digitally added nighttime and added snow, but those are the exact same shots, just reused. A little tribute to Stanley Kubrick and his masterpiece, The Shining. I'm giving this film a 6 out of 10 on the must-watch meter. If you're a huge fan of The Shining, you don't need to watch this. It's kind of really a different story. If you've never watched The Shining, you don't need to watch this. It's not that good of a story. It has an 89% popcorn meter, and I disagree. Leave a comment below, but I don't think this is that great of a movie. I'll watch it again. It was entertaining, it was enjoyable, and the Blu-ray features the extended director's cut, which is 180 minutes. The theatrical release is only 152, but the director's cut is 180 minutes. I'll watch it again at some point in my life. I would say maybe 5 or 10 years down the road. I watch The Shining again, I put this in again, but it's not that great of a movie. I don't know why the popcorn meter is so high. I'm really indifferent. It's okay. It's not similar enough to really be considered a direct sequel, and yet it's not that far off from the original that you can't make it a whole different storyline. It does tie in together, but is that really a good thing? I don't know. I'm indifferent to this movie. a lot of the Stephen King stuff, the supernatural stuff was a little far-fetched. The steam coming up was a little ridiculous. There were a lot of good aspects. It was an enjoyable film. I don't feel like I wasted 2 hours. It was fun. It was a good watch. But it's not that great. 6 out of 10. What do you think? Leave a comment below. For our Halloween rating, we're giving it a 1 out of 5 on the jump scare meter. No jump scares. I don't think there was one. It might have been one, but it was definitely more towards the Stanley Kubrick style of claustrophobia and an immersive atmosphere and just dread opposed to jump scares. For our chills meter, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 on the chills meter. It's some chilling shit. Like I said, the Stephen King supernatural stuff kind of is off-putting to the chills meter, but it's good. And for our gore meter, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. There's enough gore. There's enough stuff. It's pretty good. Like I said, I'm indifferent to this movie. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I don't know. Am I missing something? Maybe I should watch the Blu-ray extended release. I feel like this movie is going to your high school reunion. It's great to see everyone again, but they all got fat, married, and miserable. So is it really good to see them again? You know, wouldn't you just prefer to remember them the way they were?